eighth inning home run proved to be the difference yesterday as the Rays capped an incredible homestand, winning 8 of 9, including 3 straight against World Series champion, the Houston Astros. Tonight, flamethrower Nathan Eovaldi goes to the hill, looking to shut down the team from South Florida. The Rays have traveled across the state as we welcome you to Miami and interleague baseball. The Tampa Bay Rays and the Miami Marlins square off in the first of a 3-game series. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. So good to have you aboard as the Rays and the Marlins prepare to square off. Well, the Rays have not fared all that well in interleague baseball, as you probably know by now, and they're going to send a power right arm to the mound to try to rectify that tonight.
Yeah, let's talk about what Nathan Eovaldi did his last time out. You know, he's always going to have the velocity. That goes without being said. But the last start, it was the split, and it was early, and it was often. A lot of consistency with that pitch, and that allowed him to go out and throw 6 innings of just 1 hit, no-run baseball with 9 strikeouts. Think about the 2 starts that he's had his really good split. It was the 6 no-hit innings in Oakland, and it was the 6 one-hit innings his last time out. Watch for that pitch early on. JT Realmuto, what he has been able to do for this Marlins club this season, pretty special. More of an athletic catcher than most are. Good season, 309 average, 10 home runs, 35 driven in. He's currently on a 9-game hitting streak. Gets it done behind the plate very well, too. A good defensive catcher. He's been one of the bright spots this season for the Miami Marlins.
Well, the Rays now over 500, but coming off a great homestand, winning 8 of 9. And when we come back, Michelle Margot looks back on the winning ways of the Rays at Tropicana Field.
Marlins and the Rays will The team is back over 500, and that is due in large part to the impressive homestand the Rays put together. Let's take a look at your Toyota inside look. Let's recap the homestand here. They played the Yankees, Nationals, and Astros. They went 8-1 as a team, averaging 4 runs per game. They hit .256 as a team, holding opponents to just a .156 average. And then the entire pitching staff averaged a sub-2 ERA. Very impressive. Here's manager Kevin Cash on the recent success and how to keep it rolling on this road trip.
First and foremost, the pitching, then the defense. You know, we had timely hitting, obviously, but the pitching has led the way. We've said for many years now, our pitching is going to kind of guide us. We're not a team that's going to go up there and put up 7-8 runs a night. We're going to find ways to prevent, and we've done that because good pitching and just some unbelievable plays on defense.
The Rays look to keep it going with Nathan Eovaldi on the mound against the Miami Marlins. They have a chance for 4 in a row. First pitch of Game 1 of this series from Marlins Park coming up. We'll be right back.
Fresh off that great homestand when the Rays went 8-1 against a combination of the New York Yankees, Washington, and Houston. And tonight, the Rays will open this series on the road, interleague play from Miami against the Marlins. Let's take a look at the starting lineup presented by your local Ford dealers. The Rays will have Kevin Kiermaier leading off, followed by Matt Duffy. Daniel Robertson will hit third and play left, followed by Wilson Ramos, and then Adeni Echeverria. C.J. Cron in the 6th spot, batting in front of Carlos Gomez. Willie Adames will hit 8th, and the pitcher in this National League park will bat 9th, Nathan Eovaldi.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Marlins is going to be left-hander Wei-Yin Chen, making his 13th start of the season, and unfortunately took a loss his last time out, but it was one of his better starts of the season. It was against the Diamondbacks. He went 6 strong innings, giving up just 5 hits and 1 earned run, but did take an L in that start. Let's take a look at the Marlins defense, see how it's going to line up here tonight. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we have Derek Dietrich, Lewis Brinson, and me. Across the infield third to first, Miguel Rojas, JT Riddle, Starlin Castro, and Justin Bohr, with JT Realmuto behind the plate.
And there is Kevin Kiermaier, all set to lead it off here against the lefty. Well, the Rays in interleague play, as we mentioned at the outset, they have gone just 2-7 against American League opponents. They are 40-34, and overall now a game over 500 at 42-41 as they prepare to square off against the lefty, 32-year-old Wei-Yin Chen. You'll remember him from his extended time with the Baltimore Orioles. The Rays seem to face him 6 or 7 times every year when he was in a Baltimore uniform. And here's Kiermaier stepping in to get this one underway. First pitch of the game is foul the other way, out of play. A fastball from Chen.
Well, not much has changed in Chen's approach. Fastball, slider, curveball change. Relies on pitching around the fringes of the strike zone.
Down and away. Well, the roof is open here in Miami at Marlins Park. Temperature in the low 80s to start play. Little tapper foul up the first base side, and it's 1-2. Rays did win the Citrus Series a year ago. As we take a look at Marlins Park from our center field view, Rays were 3-1 against the Marlins and 2-0 in this ballpark. And a cut and a miss to open this one. Kiermaier down on strikes.
Boy, a sharp beginning here for Chen. A couple of good fastballs we saw, 92, 93. And then this slider takes it off the plate. Good velocity on it and a great spot. Well, you look at his numbers across the board and you don't expect to see this type of stuff. We know that he can command his pitches, but showing good velocity, good break on that slider.
Overall, an earned run average of 6.14 to start play, and there's a first pitch strike on the fastball to Duffy. The interesting breakout for him has been home and away. He's pitched very well here at home. 5 starts and 230 earned run average. On the road, 7 starts and a 9.85 ERA. How about that breakout there?
You got to find a way to leave him at home. I mean, really, those numbers, the difference, I think it's the biggest difference in Major League Baseball this season between home and road ERA. At least it should be.
One would hope. 1-1 the count. You wouldn't wish that kind of spread on anyone. This one chopped toward Riddle at short. And he takes care of Duffy with the throw across the diamond. So a strikeout and a ground ball out. 2 up, 2 down. Well, the Rays really have some ground to make up in interleague play. A 2-7 record. There's a strike to Daniel Robertson. That is the second worst record in the major leagues, ahead of only the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers are 1-7 in interleague play. The Rays 2-7. And Robertson down 0-2.
Well, you know what? This is the road trip. You've got 3 here. You've got 3 in New York against the Mets. You're coming off, you could make the argument, your best homestand in years because of the teams that you played.
Yes, absolutely.
And maybe beyond years. And so this team is riding high with the confidence department. Now you're going to be playing some lesser teams. Can they keep it up? Can they continue to play with energy and enthusiasm? And I would think that all signs point to yes. So much youth on this team, and even the veterans are high energy guys. You think about Romo, think about Gomez, You know, these guys, the older veterans on the team, and they have just as much energy as the young guys.
We see the Mets with 33 wins, the Marlins with 34. That shot out of play down the right side. So the opportunity is there. And if things fall into place, you see Don Mattingly with his club 15.5 games back at 34 and 51. Mattingly here the last 2 years. They won 79 games in 2016, 77 last year. Ground ball to third. Rojas makes the throw to first, and the Rays are up and down 1, 2, 3. Bottom of inning one coming. The Rays will send Nathan Eovaldi to the hill. Local Ford dealers. Derek Dietrich will lead it off, followed by Brian Anderson, and then JT Realmuto. Yes, I did say Brian Anderson. Justin Bohr will hit cleanup, followed by Starlin Castro, and then JT Riddle. Miguel Rojas is at third. Lewis Brinson in center field, hitting eighth in front of the pitcher, Wei-Yin Chen.
Finally, one a Brian Anderson that can hit. Up there in the 2-hole.
We'll have to check out his style, though. Well, here we go. Eovaldi all set. Dietrich in there, starting today, hitting .291. And that's a big cut and a miss at the fastball. 97 to start the evening for Eovaldi. .02.
Let's take a quick look at the Rays defense, see how it's going to line up here tonight. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we've got Daniel Robertson, Kevin Kiermaier, and Carlos Gomez. Across that infield, third to first, Matt Duffy, Yadani Echeverria, Willie Adames, and C.J. Cron with Wilson Ramos behind the dish.
A ball and 2 strikes. By the mound toward the middle. That's Echeverria making a nice play on that one. And Dietrich is out, number 1.
Well, Dwayne, let's take a look at a scouting report here on Mr. Anderson as he strolls to the plate. Number 1, hands down the best name in Major League Baseball. That's what all the experts are saying, and I think that one speaks for itself. So then let's move down the list, and currently right now he leads this Miami Marlin team in on-base percentage, runs batted in, and hits, and he would be looking to become just the 5th National League rookie since 1920 to lead his team in those categories.
Well, Anderson steps in here with an impressive arm sleeve, and he's not the only Brian Anderson who loves that arm sleeve. First pitch is a strike call. It's a star-spangled arm sleeve here by young Mr. Anderson.
I do have a soft spot in my heart for the sleeve.
This one is wide. Now 1-1. Anderson hitting .288, 5 home runs and 40 runs batted in.
Hey, how about the bat tape too? I mean, that's a fresh coat right there.
Cut the miss. Now 1-2.
Get that bat handle down here and take a look at it. How about that? Going all out.
Up the right side, that's out of play. Dietrich grounded out. Anderson behind in the count. Nathan Eovaldi coming in with 30 strikeouts and only 5 walks in a little over 35 innings of work. Stayed in there, 2-2.
Well, that's that split. He had thrown one to Dietrich that stayed up. That one stayed up just a little bit. That's been a big bellwether pitch for him.
And a cut and a miss right there. And Anderson is out on strikes.
He may have ditched it in favor of the slider. Let's take a look. Boy, that bottom falls out of that, gets it underneath the swing. But, you know, you go back to his, Nate Eovaldi's first start off the disabled list. 6 no-hit innings against Oakland. The split was great. His last start, the split was great. We talked about it early in the game. Keep your eye on this pitch, because if it stays sharp, then he has a chance to have a really good night, and he did.
Now the catcher, JT Realmuto. It's a ball.
That's always going to be there. The velocity is going to be there. It's what secondary pitch can he pair up with it? When he's gone fastball and the split.
One hopper by the mound. Adames takes care of that. Crone with the scoop at first. And a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the second, no score. Participating 7-Eleven store and pick up a Rays discount coupon for $7.11 tickets to the game Friday, July 20th against this same Miami ball club. Keep saving with $5 Budweiser and Bud Lights exclusively on the Budweiser porch. Ages 21 and over, please drink responsibly. Here's Wilson Ramos, the odds-on favorite to be at the All-Star game and right behind that plate. He's hitting .290 to start play tonight. And takes a pitch too low for Chen. 1-0. Chen marching right through the first inning. A 1-2-3 inning. Couple of ground balls after an opening strikeout. Up the right side. That is a fair ball. Headed into the corner. Anderson gloves it to keep it out of the corner. but it's going to be a double for Ramos. He's in there standing up. The 11th double of the year for the Rays catcher.
We have seen an awful lot of this from Wilson Ramos. You want to throw me away? I'm going to shoot you away. Look how deep he lets that ball get. Chen and that trying to paint that outside corner, but he left it up. And Ramos able to get it down into the corner and get the Rays started quickly here in the second.
So the Rays with an opportunity. Adeiny Echeverria now stepping in. And the fastball is a strikeout there on the corner. Healthy against lefties this year, over 370. It's down, now 1-1. The best year for Chen in Baltimore was 2014. He was a 16-game winner. He was 10 games over 500 that year. Finished 16-6. Spent some time on the disabled list earlier this year with an elbow strain. Chopped foul up into the stands. Now 1-2. Fastball is fouled back. It's an interesting park in that it at times can be spacious, but there's not a lot of foul territory here. It's only 47 feet to the base of the stands behind the plate, and the foul territory angles down to a very narrow corner in both left and right. Looper, and that's going to be out of play. So hitters have an opportunity to extend at bats by getting the bat on the ball and defeating pitches, fouling pitches away.
Well, you know, these new ballparks that get built, you know, you want the fans as close to the field as you can possibly get them. Those are primo seats, so you start cutting into that foul territory.
The ground ball to short. Riddle makes the throw with Ramos remaining at second.
But I will tell you this, once you do get into fair territory, when you talk about a spacious outfield, you know, you look at 386 in left center, 392 in right center, obviously out to 407 in straightaway. That is a lot of room to cover.
Yeah, we saw that spot in right center over to center during that span there from that 392 marker in right center to 407. That used to be a little deeper. And the fences had closer to uniform heights. They're rather disparate right now. Here's a pitch missing to C.J. Cron. 1 ball, no strikes. The fence 11.5 feet high if you go down the line and left, and at other points when it goes up and down pretty much varies from 7 feet to 11.5 and even lower in right field, however. That's a line drive and a base hit out of the reach of Riddle. Ramos had to wait to see if that ball would be caught or not, so he can advance only to third. And it's first and third with 1 out.
Well, C.J. Cron, always nice to get him off to a good start. That ball got in on him a little bit, but that just shows you his strength. Able to drop it out there into left field. Now first and third with 1 out.
Carlos Gomez will have a chance to put the Rays out in front early.
Boy, and over the last couple of weeks, he has been swinging the bat much better. Was in a prolonged slump the start of the season, but middle of June on, well, you see what he's been able to do. The average 310, the on base closing in on 400.
He's had some multi-hit games in that span, including 2 yesterday in the wrap-up game of the homestand. Takes a pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. Double by Ramos, a 1-out single by Crone. Two and 0. She had a winning record in the big leagues, 55-43. A game under 500 against the Rays at 5-6. Ground ball, third, down to second, 1, and over to first. A double play. 5-4-3 started by Rojas at third, and the Rays threaten but do not score. Bottom of inning 2 coming, no score.
A little update for you on the All-Star Game ballot for 2018. Catcher Wilson Ramos still atop the leaderboards in front of Gary Sanchez. Here's a look at all of the leaders in every position. If you want to help make sure the Buffalo goes to the All-Star Game this year, you can vote online at raysbaseball.com/vote. He's at 1.5 million votes. So Rays fans, keep it up. And guys, I'm a little disappointed I haven't seen you wear your Buffalo hat yet.
We're both keeping that under wraps for the perfect time. Justin Bohr up here taking the first pitch low.
And you didn't see me last night after the game.
I didn't.
Right, and neither did Michelle.
Yep.
So she has no idea
Yep.
if that was sported or not. It's a good chance that it was.
Yep. I would take those hints to mean that they probably did make an appearance.
And I was escorted out shortly thereafter.
2-1 the count on Bohr, the first baseman. Three and 1. 234 average with 13 home runs. Bohr known to really be a patient hitter up there. He takes a lot of pitches. Runs deep counts. He's 3-2 now.
And an awful lot of power. Very capable of getting the ball out just about anywhere.
25 home runs last year and is out on strikes. Fastball and a 98. Second strikeout for Eovaldi. 4 up, 4 down to begin this outing.
Yeah, I got caught reaching for that pitch out there, and at 98, you're trying to speed up at the end. That bat head, the barrel drops, and you never get to the pitch. Good fastball there by Eovaldi. Boy, it's fun to watch him. He does not hold anything back. You know, we were talking about the Rays, you know, kind of pushing Wilmer Font to be a guy that doesn't pace himself with the heater.
Yep.
Here's your example.
Yeah, well, he came right out. I think the first pitch was 97.
That's every start.
Starlin Castro behind in the count now. 0-2.
Well, you see what he's able to do that with that cutter. That cutter in the low to mid 90s on top of the slider, the split.
Line drive, that's going to be a base hit. And Castro is aboard. First base runner in the first hit for Miami. Now JT Riddle, the shortstop, on his way to the plate. Number is 255 with 4 home runs. Small one wide. Riddle lost some time early this year with tenderness in his right shoulder. High fly ball, not all that deep to center, and Kiermaier's there waiting. He'll be out number 2. 2 gone with Castro still at first. Here's Miguel Rojas. See Rojas hitting .245, and with 7 home runs, he came into this season with a grand total of 4 home runs in just under 360 career games. That was about halfway through the season here, and he has 7 home runs. First pitch is a strike.
Well, you've got an opportunity here, if you're a player with the Marlins, of trying to prove to the coaching staff, to management, to everybody that's running the show here, that you're capable of being, you know, part of this building. I mean, this is a complete rebuild. They have brought it all the way down, bare bones. Manager Don Mattingly right there. And so you're going to get some opportunities if you're a young player to prove that you belong and that you're part of the solution and part of the team that's going to turn the corner in a couple years.
Yeah, and their outlook really is 2 or 3 years down the road. And that's not only at the major league level, but they're rebuilding down below, trying to collect young talent in deals they make.
Try to get some synergy from top to bottom all the way through.
Liner past Duffy. That ball's going to go to the corner. Castro's got a chance to score. Robertson retrieves it. The throw by Echeverria is not going to be in time. And Miami takes a 1-0 lead on the double by Rojas.
But
Castro scores from first on the double. 9th double and 31st run batted in by Rojas.
Well, I'll tell you what, that had a lot to do with defensive positioning out there in left field with Daniel Robertson. This ball hangs up a little bit, and Rojas able to turn and burn down into the corner. And watch where Daniel Robertson is. As this ball heads out, he has got such a long run. That is what allowed Castro to get all the way over from first base and score rather easily. Had him pulled over into left center field, and just everything took too long.
Brinson, Lewis Brinson, taking a pitch a little low, says Ed Hickox. A 186 average for Brinson. He's a high strikeout guy with power. 10 home runs and 92 strikeouts. And a big cut right there at 98. It's 1-1. Really has been all or nothing, it seems, at the plate. He's walked only 13 times to go with 92 strikeouts. Big swing and big occasional power in double figures in the home run department. That'll move the count to 1-2.
You wonder how that plays mentally. You know, the average below 200, all of the strikeouts. You're not getting on base a ton. You have run into 10 homers, so there's some good there. There's a lot of improving that needs to be done too.
And a tapper charged by Duffy. Throw to first will not be in time. And the inning continues with Rojas moving up to third. A little tap of an infield hit by Brentson.
Well, that's the other thing. You get that power speed combo. That's what makes a player like Brentson so intriguing. And here he tops this pitch, and it's just in no man's land. Matt Duffy, everything that he could do to make that play, and still not nearly in time. Gets out of the box and gets up the line.
Now the pitcher, Wei-In Chen. It's a tap foul.
Boy, those are the hits that drive you crazy pitching in the National League, because you want to get Brinson out, retire him, end the inning, and to have the pitcher leading off the third. Instead, that little infield hit, even if it doesn't amount to another run, you get the pitcher up there, and then all of a sudden you've got to start right back at the top of the order.
Brinson takes off, and the pitch is fouled. So it's a 2-strike count. And Brinson will be headed back to first. Castro singled on an 0-2 pitch with 1 out. He has scored on the 2-out double by Rojas. Brinson at first on the infield hit. Rojas taking third. And now the 2-strike pitch, a wave and a miss by Chen to retire the side. A run, 3 hits. We go to the third. 1-0 Miami. W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. From Marlins Park The Rays and the Marlins in interleague play. Rays fans making the trek across the state as well to experience interleague play. Marlins Park opening in April of 2012. And the roof open tonight with the temperature in the mid-80s.
I don't remember having been here before with the roof open.
It doesn't happen all the time. This year, the Marlins have had it open for 16 decisions, and they are 8-8 with the roof open.
That's impressive. They've had it open that many times. Beautiful night.
Well, the Rays facing the left-hander. Willie Adames will lead it off. Well, and Derek Jeter as the chief executive officer, making organizational decisions here and trying to get the Marlins back on track.
Boy, how about that transition from the playing field to that chief executive officer in just a couple of years?
Yeah, he's seen it from both sides now.
Oh, yeah. And had to make some extremely tough, difficult decisions thrown right into the fire.
Well, the one thing about him from his playing days, he is used to winning. And he is going through what cannot be a pleasant situation here, requiring diligence and patience.
Yeah, you understand winning, understand what it looks like, what it takes, the kind of players that you need.
This one is fouled up the right side.
And you're right, patience, not something that he probably has a whole lot of.
Well, Adames starting at second with Echeverria at shortstop tonight in the starting lineup. Adames through his first 19 games in the big leagues, a .224 average with a couple of home runs, 7 runs batted in. There's Echeverria. Into center field, that's got a chance to drop into right center. Here comes Anderson in front of Brinson to make the pickup. And Adames is aboard with a leadoff hit in the third.
Boy, nice job by Willie Adames here. Wei-Yin Chen made some tough pitches on him, and that ball got in there, but he fights it off and catches enough of it to drop it out in there and get the Rays off and running here once again in the third.
Yeah, leadoff man on in front of the pitcher, and this for the Rays a little different situation here with the pitcher in the lineup. So Eovaldi will be up trying to move the runner over.
Square round early, get ready.
And he takes the pitch for a strike with Rojas coming in to shake hands with him.
Well, that's where
right on top of him.
He was, and if that ball gets bunted anywhere near him, he's going to go to second base with it. At least you have that option. I don't know if that play would be on second base, and more than likely maybe covering first base here.
And to bunt up the first base side, and that's fouled right into the Rays dugout. Kevin Cash made the play on that one, made a barehanded catch.
Yeah, interesting, Dwayne, because you had Bohr coming down with Rojas, and then all of a sudden Castro kind of fading towards first, and then Riddle heading towards second. So you would have that option if you got to the ball quickly enough to try to cut down the lead runner. Playing back a little bit more now here, may let him swing.
And he takes that pitch off the plate in. 1-2.
Yeah, that's where you try to take advantage. When you know pitchers are going to bunt, you can get aggressive with your defense. And if they don't pull a bat back and try to slash, they'll bunt right into double plays. Swinging away here, though.
And he takes that one at the knees for strike 3. Eovaldi unable to move the runner over. Called out on strikes. So a man at first with 1 out for the top of the order. A couple strikeouts for Chen the first time through the Rays lineup. got Kiermaier on strikes, got him swinging at a slider in the first. This is the 13th start for Chen this year. Only a couple of steal attempts. The opposition 2-0 in that department, but not a lot of running with him out there. Kiermaier is behind in the count now. Strike one.
Well, he's got that built-in advantage of being a left-handed pitcher, a left-handed starter who's going to be out there quite a bit, has learned how to control the running game, gets the ball to home plate quickly when he needs to.
And picks up the outside edge there, 0-2.
A couple of nasty pitches here by Chen, and I'll tell you, again, you look through the numbers, and this is one set of them. Lefties not so much. Righties have done a nice job against him, but he's throwing the ball pretty crisply here tonight.
And strike three called. He goes out there again, and Kiermaier not happy with those last two strikes. He thought they were off the plate, and they might have been.
Yep.
But he's called out nevertheless.
And here it is, and that's just the perfect pitch by Chen. You've already gotten a couple of calls out there, so go out there one more time, see if you can get it again. Probably is a ball length off the plate, but it's being called.
There's Matt Duffy. Rays down by a run. 1 on, 2 outs. Breaks down and in, 1-0. The breaking ball to begin Duffy. Matt Duffy starting tonight, the 5th leading hitter in the American League at .321. 0 for 1, he's at .320 right now. Rays opening this interleague series. Night game again tomorrow and a day game on Wednesday. There's the batting leader board. 2-0 the count. Chen gets a strike in there, 2-1. One delivery upstairs. It's now 3-1. Statcast powered by AWS throughout the evening and the season. A little bit of that one will take the count all the way to 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That gutsy pitch there by Chen. Knowing Matt Duffy's a good fastball hitter, and in a good fastball count at 3-1, he pulls the string and goes with the 3-1 change. What that does is get him to 3-2, and now puts a little bit of doubt in Duffy's mind. Not really sure what he will go with here. You know, you're willing to throw a 3-1 changeup? You might do anything on a full count.
Ground ball headed for Riddle at short. His throw to first. Right there, the Rays going to hit. Again, leave a runner aboard. Bottom of the 3rd coming, 1-0 Marlins. The bottom of the third. Nathan Eovaldi against Wei Chen tonight. Our Lowe's whole team together numbers over the last 6 games. How about this? The starters at 0.64 and the bullpen 138, holding the opposition to a 141 average over the last 6.
And then you see what they've done when it really matters. You get runners in scoring position, and they get even stingier.
As in 0.
I tell you, it has been something to watch. And again, you're doing this with 2 healthy, regular starting pitchers. You had Wilmer Font in there for a start as a third, but of course
now
he's down
on the shelf.
Yeah, and so you've got Blake Snell, Nate Eovaldi, and then bullpen days, openers, piece it together, and boy have they.
Yeah, half the time you've got to be determined when the Rays are listing tomorrow's pitcher. And it would appear the odds-on choice would be Stanek tomorrow, to be followed by Yarborough.
Got used to that combo.
But Stanek's out there in the bullpen tonight, just in case. So that could change at a moment's notice.
It never is boring.
No.
I mean, you're always wondering, who's it going to be?
Ground ball by the mound, and Echeverria's right there. Well, the Rays trying something new, something innovative, and it's kind of fun to see how it all turns out. And things have worked out pretty well. And there's the guy in the middle of all of it, the manager, Kevin Cash.
Yeah, he's done a remarkable job in juggling the bullpen, the moves that he has to make. I think you're going to see it, too, start to catch on around baseball. Imagine you're a team where you're going into spring training. You've got 4 guys, solidified as starters, and you've got 2 or 3 fringe guys that are vying for the 5th starter spot. Well, why not in that one spot?
Yep.
If nobody really emerges, you say, hey, we keep a couple of them. We make you 3 or 4 inning guys.
Hot shot up the middle, stopped by Adames, though, to first. One hops in, and they get Anderson at first. It's a good play right there to make the stop to begin with.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely ripped. And Willie Adames sprawling out there in center field. Positioned well, but still had to make a heck of a play because it was hit so hard. Gets enough on the throw. A nice job by Crone again. Probably has a little more power than me, Dwayne, but does not have the wheels.
Well, he's got a little flash, though.
A little bit. Oh, a lot of
His
it.
name is Brian Anderson. He's got to have some flash.
Could you have a more boring name? I mean, let's be honest. I can say that because I share it. But you're named after the dog from Family Guy, Brian. I mean, really, that's what you came up with. You had 9 months. You came up with Brian.
Foul ball back. 1-1 here on the Miami catcher.
I mean, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but you take that name.
Yeah.
And you make it into something, as the Brian Andersons I run across tend to do.
Well, it was tough because I was given the middle name James.
Yes.
So you had that opportunity
Yeah.
to be B.J. Anderson, which is a good athletic type name.
Sure.
However, we've gone through this story before. We had B.J. Moline.
Yeah, there was another BJ in town.
Yeah, that's right. And the town was only big enough for one.
It's a swing and a miss on the breaking ball. 3 up and 3 down. We're going to go to the 4th. 1-0 Marlins. the Rays as we take a look at Brian Anderson out there in right field. Well, they say a two's company and three's a crowd. Well, we've run across at least 3 Brian Andersons. My esteemed colleague, along with Brian Anderson, spending some time in the outfield for the White Sox, and the Brian Anderson here in Miami.
Every generation has had one. That's really good. That's really good. I got to meet the Chicago White Sox, Brian Anderson.
Daniel Robertson fouls the pitch away, strike 1.
Didn't he try to come back to as a pitcher?
Yeah, I think so.
Trying to hang on, and I'll tell you that you get into this game and you do anything to stay. You. Yes, boy, is that not the truth?
There goes the bat again. And a swing and a miss by Daniel Robertson. It's becoming a nightly event here with Daniel Robertson and the errant bat.
Yeah, you know, he obviously, that just goes to show you that he does not have a death grip on that thing. Not trying to turn the handle into sawdust. Light in his hands, but boy, when he takes a big swing and misses, off it goes. A little bit more of the grip stick, perhaps. I'm sure everything's been tried.
Well, he's keeping that third base dugout loose, that's for sure.
Yes.
1 ball, 2 strikes. He's facing the left-hander. So they've gone heavy with the right-handed lineup. It's popped up and will carry out of play, back of first. Well, you know, if you wanted to come back as a hitter, this is a pretty good audition tape right here.
That's the only thing that I would show. I had the pants down there though. That was a little odd. Must have been before.
2-2.
That was a tough game for Mark Gardner. Tough game for the Giants. I was the first hitter that he faced. Probably thought, okay, I'm coming into the ball game. Start off with the pitcher, you know, get a quick out, and we'll work from there. That's not the way. That's not the way you want to start. No. Give up a home run to the pitcher. Not too good.
2-2 and a ground ball. This will be off the glove of Castro. Found himself reaching for that one. Robertson's going to dig for 2, and he's going to make it. Some great hustle by Robertson as that ball skipped off Castro's glove into shallow left field, and Robertson made the very most of that.
Well, you had out there Castro that little bit of feeling sorry for yourself, wondering how you didn't make that play. And then also with JT Riddle not going after the ball right away. Okay, first of all, you miss it. Everybody just kind of standing around. Guess who's not standing around? This guy. He sees it all out in front of him and says, this is going to be easy.
Well, that's an error on Castro, his 10th of the year. Been under the tutelage of Perry Hill here, who's their first base coach and infield instructor, and working with him on avoiding things just like that. And Ramos takes a pitch down, a ball, no strikes. You know, there's Perry Hill. I'll tell you, he has coached quietly. He doesn't call a lot of attention to himself. But he has a whole cadre of Gold Glove infielders he's had influence on. A lot of second basemen, a third baseman, and a first baseman, I think, thrown in there as well. Pretty good guy with infielders. There's a ground ball to the right side by Ramos. That's going to move Robertson to third. He'll be there with 1 out.
And you could see, too, you know, obviously feeling for his player out there, Starlin Castro, but he's counting the hairs left on that head, saying, look, I've got a handful left.
Yep.
Make the play.
That's right. Well, he had D. Gordon here. He won a Gold Glove.
Yeah.
Luis Castillo, he won multiple Gold Gloves. Now Adeiny Echeverria. Infield comes up. The pitch is fouled back. Pitch out over the plate.
Oh, well, that's what you're looking for. You know, we talked about it early on. Chen, to be good, has to be on the corners. Can't be out over the heart of the plate. That's where you can drive a ball. And Echeverria looking to do that here. Get that ball in the air, get it into the outfield.
Yeah, you get the infield pulled up and a pitch out over the plate. They start to flinch a little bit. There's a high fly ball into right field. Anderson will make the catch. The tag at third. Robertson heads to the plate, and he will score. This game is tied.
That would have been fun to watch if that throws on line and right on home plate. What an arm.
Well, Anderson has 4 assists this year from the outfield.
I thought this was just going to be an eyewash throw. No chance you're getting Robertson that deep. And if that throw is right on home plate, a perfect throw, that's a play.
Yeah,
there's a play.
And part of that was Anderson circling to get into a position to try to make that a play at the plate.
And that's so funny, because as he did that, as deep as it was, that's why I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a show throw. Because you're putting yourself in position to make the throw, you don't have a chance.
Yep.
Well,
he did.
He did. Good arm.
Here's Crone swinging and missing. It's 1-1. Well, the Rays get a run, taking advantage of the error. Now 2-1. Three balls and a strike to C.J. Crone.
These are the types of counts that both Eovaldi and Chen have avoided for the most part early on.
And the good thing about this, Crone in a handful of at-bats has some success against Chen. He's 3 out of 4 against him. And takes a cut, fouls this one.
You know, and another off speed. We saw that the last time. There's been a couple 3-1 counts by Chen, and both of them, one was to Matt Duffy, came with a changeup, comes with another off-speed pitch right here. Looked like another changeup.
So now it's 3-2. The chop to third, playing it off to his left, Rojas, and the throw to first is in time. Rays get an unearned run, but they tie this game. Bottom of the fourth coming, 1-1.
With hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
All even at a run apiece, moving on to the bottom of the fourth inning. Rays and the Marlins in interleague play. Adeni Echeverria driving in the tying run with a sacrifice fly in the top of the inning. And here's Justin Bohr, the first baseman, to lead off the bottom of the frame. That pitch is a strike. Shot down to third, grabbed by Duffy. And out number one on the throw across the diamond. Duffy playing that one just to his left, and that was a hot shot off the bat of Bohr.
When the ball came off the bat, Dwayne, all I thought for Matt Duffy was, I hope he's going to be okay. I mean, really, that ball was blistered. That's your Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the game, and Matt Duffy with the quick glove.
Yeah, nicely done right there.
He's like, I heard it go by.
Starlin Castro. Castro scored the run for Miami in the second and then made the error that gave the Rays the opportunity to pick up their run in the fourth, which they did. Now the bottom of the fourth, and the count is 2-0 to Castro. Castro coming over in the Giancarlo Stanton deal. Last year, Castro hit 300 with the Yankees. Originally up with the Cubs. There's a line drive, and it's a base hit into left, and he's on again. 2 for 2 tonight. Lined that one out of the reach of Echeverria.
Showing a quick bat, some good plate coverage. You get that kind of velocity from Eovaldi that's away. You don't have a whole lot of time to get the barrel out there and pull it at the same time. And he did it just enough to get over into left field, and 1 out hit.
Now JT Riddle. Takes the pitch for ball 1. Riddle out of the University of Kentucky. Gonna move on Castro. He's back in at first. Up last year and hit 250 in 70 games for Miami. Some work done on his left shoulder while he was recuperating from that. Actually strained his right shoulder and lost some time this year on the shelf with that. Shorten's on the bat, takes it for a ball. Now it's 2-0. The Rays back even. 1 on, 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. There's Rojas. He drove in the run for Miami in the second inning. And ball 3 is wide. The Rays have had such great pitching in this stretch. Held Houston to just 7 runs in that 4-game series. And they've given up no more than 2 runs, 2 or fewer runs in 6 consecutive games. And there's ball 4 on 4 pitches And that pushes Castro into scoring position. Well, you hate to do that. 2 on with 1 out for Rojas.
Could not find the outside corner. You know, Nathan Eovaldi, he's got the big fastball, but needs to be able to find the plate. Could not make that adjustment and that at bat, and it cost him 90 feet.
Well, and Rojas has been about as hot as anybody in this lineup for the last couple of weeks. He's hitting over 360. Came into the game 245 for the year, 248 this time after the RBI double his first time up. Up the right side, foul, lifted out of play. Miami with a run on 4 hits. The Rays a run on 3 hits. Rays cause helped by the Miami error. Liner into right center field. 1 hop to Gomez. Castro's going to have to stop at third. He wanted to make sure that ball somehow was not caught out there. And the bases are loaded.
Yeah, actually off the bat, Dwayne, I thought that it did have a chance to be caught. But that ball got down in front of Gomez out in right center field. It does keep Castro at third, though. Nobody scored. The double play still in order.
Kyle Snyder is going to make a trip to the mound before Lewis Brinson hits.
We talked in his first at bat all the strikeouts, so you have the possibility, if you can make some quality pitches early in this at bat, you can look to punch Brinson out. But right now, Kyle Snyder trying to get Nathan Eovaldi's head right, get him back on track here. Big point of the game.
Well, Eovaldi gave up the run in the second inning, left 2 men on base. Now 1 out with the bases loaded in the 4th for Brinson. Brinson reached on the infield hit, that little squibber toward third, his first time. Coming over from Milwaukee in the Christian Yelich deal this past January. So the infield up with the bases loaded, 1 out. There's a swing and a miss. Starts him with the slider to get ahead. And again, he chases. And it's 0-2, same thing.
Just what we were talking about. A couple of quality pitches to start off the AB, and you put yourself in with the chance to strike Brinson out. And you've done it with 2 sliders off the plate. And so no reason to think you need to change your approach. If he's expanding on pitches 1 and 2, he certainly will at some point here down 0-2.
And a ground ball toward the middle. Throw to the plate. Oh, what a play by Echeverria to get the force. That ball headed up the middle, and Echeverria got there, turned, and fired to the plate to cut off Castro at the plate for the force play.
Well, you got to get your momentum going here. It starts to look like it's going to get into center field. Then you got to spin and throw. Nice job by Ramos to stay with it, and a great job by Eovaldi to get down. Look out. He's standing up. That ball's square into his chest.
Look at this play by Echeverria to prevent the go-ahead run from scoring. So the bases are still loaded with 2 outs now, and the pitcher is up there. Taps it foul, strike 1. Well, Duffy made a fine play on the ball hit by Bohr. And Echeverria, another outstanding play on the ball hit by Brinson. The count's 0-2 to Chen.
You know, and what really saved the Rays on that play, if you go back and look at it, is the ball off the end of the bat. Right off the end of the bat. If he's able to get the bat further out there, he probably does squirt that ball into center field. But just off the end of the bat, and that allowed Echeverria to close and make that athletic play.
And a swing and a foul ball, just a little piece of that one. Yeah, you're right about that. Off the end of the bat, it hit the mound. And it was not hit sharply through the middle. Hit the mound and gave Echeverria a little better visual on it. Now they try to get the pitcher to get out of this jam. And another tap foul by Chen.
Keeps trying
2 for 18 this year.
And he keeps trying to get him with that cutter. I say go ahead, go upstairs with 97, 98. Just like you did in his first at bat. Just finish it off right here. Up in the zone and power.
And he takes a shot wide. It's 1-2. And a ground ball by the mound. The toss to Adames to Echeverria. So a big threat by Miami. They do not score. A couple of great defensive plays, one by Duffy and this one by Echeverria. We're still tied 1-1 through 4.
It's time now for your Chevy Prospect Spotlight. We're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to look at some key international signings the Rays made today. 4 different shortstops, starting off with a 16-year-old out of the Dominican Republic, Alejandro Pie. He's ranked the number 13 prospect by Baseball America. And then the Rays signed the Polonius twins, Ryson and Rayner, both shortstops ranked 30 and 31. And the next is number 40 ranked Estanley Castillo, an outfielder, and then 50th ranked Dory Del Rosario. So it looks like the Rays infield will be set for a while, guys.
Yeah, what's that outfielder doing in there, Castillo? When you look at the Rays system, and you have to believe it's by design, there's 4 shortstops out of those 5 there. The Rays minor league system, from A ball all the way through AAA, filled with quality infielders, pitchers and infielders, and I think there's some wisdom in that.
When you think about amateur baseball and coming through the ranks, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, where does your best athlete play?
Absolutely.
Yeah, best athlete most of the time is at shortstop. So you load up on shortstops knowing that they're going to be able to be moved to other positions. Maybe this guy profiles as an infielder, you can move him to second base. Maybe a great athlete, maybe not as good with the glove, you profile him as a center fielder. A left, you could start moving them around, but they're typically your best athletes. And the Rays, they kind of go from that inside out, which is strange. Like you said, you get an outfielder, where you going to move him?
Yep.
Bullpen catcher? No, you can't go out any further.
That's right.
You better be pretty good.
It makes a lot of sense to me when you think about versatility, options. You want to have options building an organization, and you're going to have more options with middle infielders, shortstop types, than any other athlete.
Yep. Yep. I mean, you could put some weight on them, bulk them up a little bit, move them to the corner. And they're just, like you said, there's so many options.
Want to know the count to Carlos Gomez, Adames, and then Eovaldi due up. We have a 1-1 ball game in the 5th inning here. A line drive caught by Riddle. So that's out number 1 in the 5th. Stay tuned in the middle of the 7th inning for the Ram game break, brought to you by the all-new 2019 Ram 1500. There's Willie Adames. Which is a strike. Adames has a base hit. One of the 3 hits for the Rays so far tonight. Misses a fastball. 0-2. Rays are facing the former Baltimore Oriole, Wei-Yin Chen. He was all set to go to work, and Ed Hickok had granted time. Wave and a miss. Just went up with the fastball to strike him out.
I'll tell you, Chen has been, for the most part, very impressive here tonight. Starts him off with the curveball, then a couple of these fastballs, low 90s, right at the top of the zone, just above maybe, and you get the swings and misses. He has been extremely sharp.
Here's the Rays pitcher, Nathan Eovaldi. Swinging through a fastball, strike 1.
The only time that he's really gotten himself into trouble was left a couple of pitches up where Rays hitters could do something with it.
0-2. Well, the Rays took advantage of an error in the 4th inning to score a run, an unearned run, but that has tied the game. And Eovaldi is out on strikes, 3 pitches, out swinging. 3 up, 3 down go the Rays, and we move to the bottom of the 5th. we go back to May 22nd, 2011, the year before this ballpark opened. James Shields goes the distance here in Miami, giving up 6 hits, 13 strikeouts in the complete game shutout against the Marlins. Shields' 3rd complete game that year. He went on to set a franchise record, 11 complete games in 2011.
Boy, you may not see a number like that thrown up there again. I mean, who knows, ever?
How and when?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to change the trend. The swing and a miss by Dietrich to begin the bottom of the 5th. Yeah, the trend is certainly in the opposite direction, to be sure.
You know, and here's the thing.
Fly ball lifted into center. Kiermaier coming in and waiting on this one. He's got it.
You know, those horses, those James Shields, Chris Sale, you know, you think about the modern day guys pitching deep into games consistently. There aren't many coming behind them. A lot of, you know what I mean? Nobody's being trained for that role anymore. You're trained to get in 5. You could get 6. That's just a gem. And then you're going to go to your high-powered bullpens.
Yep.
And so you're not having that next generation of guys coming through ready to take the mantle, to take the
ground ball off the bat of Brian Anderson. The throw from Echeverria. Anderson is out number 2, so 3 pitches, 2 outs here in the 5th. The other thing you have, not only are the Rays experimenting with the opener and the bullpen days this year, you're getting some of that in the minor leagues.
Oh yeah, the piggyback.
Yeah.
And that's how they're coming up.
Yep.
You know, when you look down, and this is, I'm going to paint with a broad brush here, but when you look down and see a guy in the minor leagues that went out in a 9-inning game and threw a complete game or threw 8 innings, you're like, well, he must be in his upper 20s, and he's just one of those guys that's on the staff, you know, an older guy, probably has some big league time, and, you know, they're going to let him go. Because if it's one of your prospects, no way you're letting him pitch that deep into a game. For the most part.
Sure.
And you know, and so you don't get trained to pitch that deep.
Ball 1 strike.
And with the pitch counts, too. If you're going to get 8-9 innings, you have to be so efficient because they're not letting you go 115, 120.
Yep.
Very rare you see that number thrown up. So you are going to throw a complete game. You've got to average about 11, 12 pitches per to even do it. That's not real easy.
I mean, you can think back on this game on the notion of a closer as relievers go, just to work an inning or part of an inning, how revolutionary that was. I mean, the first guys who closed them, Rollie Fingers would pitch multiple innings to do that.
Yeah.
Now it's changed. Well, there you go. Among the active leaders, Sabathia, Malone, Hernandez, Kershaw, Verlander, spreading from 38 to 24.
How's Shields not on there with 11 in one season? It's almost half of the guys that were at the bottom of that list.
Got him for 23.
Oh.
Shields.
Well, expand the list, fellas.
Yeah, get the Rays.
Come on.
Yeah, a little Rays element there to the list. Fly ball back into left off the bat of Realmuto, and that ball is going to carry out of here. A 1-2 pitch, and the Miami catcher has hit his 11th home run of the year to make it 2-1 Miami. This young man here, and we don't get a chance to see him, but just talking with people around the Miami ball club here, and comparing what he's done with other catchers in the big leagues, he might be the major league catcher right now.
Well, offensive numbers over 300, double-digit home runs, leading the way for this team. He's good behind the plate, good athlete. I mean, that ball was crushed.
Moore pounds it out of play. It's now 1-1. Well, here's the pitch and the home run.
Boy, it looked to be a cutter, and Realmuto gets out and around it, creates the backspin, the carry, Shows off the power.
Now 1-2. It's a 9th home run given up by Eovaldi. And this is 7th start. Miami now takes a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, that's been the one thing that has hurt Eovaldi, the number of home runs. The good thing, if there is a good thing, 8 of the 9 have been solo shots, and for the most part, you can live with those.
Yeah, that's because he doesn't walk many people.
Yeah.
He walked 6 all year.
Yeah.
One of those was an intentional walk. And he gets Bohr reaching, strikes him out, but he gives up the run. We're through 5. It's 2-1 Miami. First, a double off the bat of Miguel Rojas scored Starlin Castro, and then it was Castro's error that set up the Rays run in the 4th. Daniel Robertson scored on a sacrifice fly by Adeiny Echeverria after Robertson reached on the error by Castro. And with nobody on and 2 outs, Realmuto behind in the count, 1-2, felt his 11th home run of the year. The bottom of the 5th to make it 2-1.
You know, and when you see that pitch from that further angle, or that wider camera shot, that may have been a split that hung and not the cutter.
Well, first pitch to Kevin Kiermaier is ball 1. Kiermaier twice has gone out on strikes, looking in the 3rd. And now ahead in the count in the 6th inning, 2-0. Balls and a strike. A high fly ball towards Brenson in center. A lot of room out there for him. It's the first out in the Rays' 6th. The Rays coming off that 3-2 victory at home yesterday over Houston to finish off the homestand 8-1 stand against the Yankees, the Nationals, and the Astros. Big day for Wilson Ramos in that series against Houston. Drove in 4 runs Saturday. There's a popper off the bat at Duffy into shallow right. Anderson makes the catch on that one. A couple quick outs for Chen.
Well, he's gotten an awful lot of that here tonight. He's been around the zone, doesn't have the overpowering stuff, taking advantage of a Rays lineup who have been going after his pitches aggressively. 2 outs into the 6th inning and just 74 pitches.
And he throws a first pitch strike to Robertson. The only run he's given up was when Robertson reached on Castro's error and eventually scored. One and one. Ground ball back at third. Rojas with the long throw. It's right there, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. 9 in a row retired by Chen since the error. 2-1 Miami.
Yeah, he's got him flipping.
For the official Rays credit card, available exclusively through Suncoast Credit Union. New card holders who are approved and activate their Suncoast Rays credit card receive 2 complimentary tickets to a 2018 Monday through Friday Rays home game. To see all the benefits, visit raysbaseball.com/Suncoast card. Nathan Eovaldi back to the mound. His first pitch down and away. Starlin Castro leading off. He is 2 for 2 with a run scored tonight. One hop knocked down by Adames. He picks it up. The throw's not going to be in time, and Castro is on for the 3rd straight time.
Boy, once he lost his feet, initially he knocks the ball down and he's going to be able to recover and make the play, but once he goes down, can't get back to it right there. Now by the time you get to the feet, grab the ball, Castro's there.
Castro gets a base hit out of that. He's 3 for 3. Hitter's the shortstop, JT Riddle. Fouls the pitch up and away. Strike one. Well, not a lot of offense tonight. Marlins got a run in the 2nd. The Rays 1 in the 4th. Miami 1 in the 5th. A 1-1 count. And they have put the leadoff man on base here in the 6th inning. First time tonight that they have put the leadoff man aboard. Rays have done that 3 times and have scored only once. 1-2 on that foul ball out of play. Chopper back over the mound. Adames steps on the bag at second and makes the throw to first, and they get the double play. Adames right there at the bag made the pickup and stepped on the bag to start it.
How about that? That previous play, I'm sure he was still not real happy about not being able to make, but they get the split right here where he fields it. Foot on the bag, easy throw. They don't come much easier than that.
Bases are empty for Miguel Rojas, who is 2 for 2. He lifts this one foul out of play. 7 hits for Miami, and between Castro and Rojas, they have 5 of them. The other one, that little infield hit by Brinson. And the difference maker right now, the home run by Remuto in the 5th. Steckenrider up in the bullpen. Down to first and by the bag up the right field line. Rojas is on again. Gomez in there to quickly make the pickup, and Rojas stops at first, so he is 3 for 3 tonight.
All about placement on this one. Got the ball off the end of the bat. I think his hands are still stinging. Down and away, and he just pokes it between C.J. Cron and first base. Great hustle here by Gomez. You always expect that from him, always gives you great effort, but you get over that ball as quickly as you can, and you keep Rojas at first base.
Here is Brinson. Pitch is down. Well, base runners in 4 of the 6 innings for Miami. One. Shuck has come out on deck. He would pinch hit for Chen if the inning continues. It's now 1-2.
And even though you're economical in the pitch count, this is where you get hurt in the National League. Don Mattingly would be looking to extend the lead, even though Chen has been throwing the ball well. Obviously 6 innings, he's gotten what he's needed out of him. Probably could get more if he wanted to. The bullpen for the Marlins has been better lately.
A little bit of that one foul to hold a count at 1-2.
But that is the difference. If you're Wei-Yin Chen in the American League, there's no thought of you coming out of this game. Pitch count mid-upper 70s, cruising through 6 innings. But boy, the National League, because of the way the lineup rolls around, because of the score of the game and the situation, could find himself out of the game.
Upstairs, it's 2-2. And now, after getting the jump on Brinson, the count is full. Two outs. Rojas, who singled, will be off with this pitch. And a ground ball. Picked up by Adames. Throw to first. Got him hustling down the line. Brinson, he can run. You can't take a lot of time with him. No runs, 2 hits, a man left. 2-1 Miami.
Will go to the bullpen. Steckenrider comes in. Wei Yin Chen, his night is finished. He was outstanding. They thought he was sharp early. That started the ball game off. That strikeout of Kiermaier on a slider. Gets some help here defensively. Little 5-4-3 double play. And gets Kiermaier again on a well-placed fastball away. Climbing the ladder there against Adames. He showed himself to be up for the task. Didn't walk anybody. 5 punch-outs in 6 strong innings.
And the new pitcher is Drew Steckenrider. 27-year-old right-hander making his 40th appearance. He is 3-1 with that .328 earned run average. And Wilson Ramos, the first Rays hitter to face him. The pitch is a strike. Steckenrider with a healthy fastball, and he relies on that a lot. He averages 95 plus. This is wide. 1-1.
Doesn't have a lot of wasted motion in his delivery. You know, pretty smooth to the plate. Quick arm.
Have a little tapper, 1-2.
Only some guys, they look like they're trying to throw 95. Other guys, it just reads 95. Looks like they're just trying to play catch.
Action in the bullpen, Matt Andriese. The ground ball headed to second. Castro makes that pickup. So 1 out in the 7th inning. Let's check in with Michelle. How you doing?
Dwayne, I'm doing well. Actually, Adeiny Echeverria is playing his former team for the first time since being traded in the middle of last season. He said it's great to be back here, mostly because he feels at home because of the large Cuban population, which I thought was interesting. He said that he most misses the Cuban food, but in all seriousness, he does have a ton of family coming to the game, and said that he still keeps in touch with former teammate Martin Prado. They talked last night. And guys, I didn't realize how long he actually played here. He played for 4.5 seasons, so it's a pretty significant amount of time.
Absolutely. This pitch is fouled back. Yeah, and he continues to give the Rays quality effort and performance, particularly defensively, and has developed offensively more than some people thought he might have. He's been a very pleasant addition for the Rays. And now in a situation where with Adames here, there's no secret that the Rays have talked with him about possible moves if they can find the right deal.
Yep.
And open that shortstop position for Adames.
Now these guys have acted like pros in what could have been a very awkward situation. you know, going back to how long he's been here with the Marlins, I would love, since he got to play, you know, here in the National League for 4.5 seasons, what his thoughts would be on going to the universal DH.
Well, we'll have to explore that, I guess.
We'll see if we can't dig something up.
Ground ball left side. And Riddle takes care of that. 2 gone. So Ramos and Echeverria have gone out on ground balls. Meanwhile, here is C.J. Cron. Pitch is a ball, 1-0. Cron had a base hit in the second. He is 1 for 2. Steckenrider in relief of Wei-Yin Chen. Lifted the other way and out of play. 2-1.
You're starting to venture into that area of the zone where Cron likes to take aggressive swings. That fastball right there, middle of the plate down. First month and a half of the season, we saw him just wreck pitches that were in those areas.
And that pitch is foul back. 2. Steckenrider has been difficult for right-handers this year. They're hitting only 187 off him. And he goes to 3-2 on Cron. The on-deck man is Carlos Gomez. This one is lifted to the right side, and that will wind up in the seats. Steckenrider up for part of last year. He's in 37 games with a .234 earned run average. And it's popped up again, a foul ball. And that will be out of play. Doesn't take much to get the ball back into the seats here on those pop fouls. Chen gave the Rays just the 1 unearned run in 6 innings. There's a shot right back off Steckenrider. It deflects to the first baseman, who tries to get the tag and misses him. So Cron is safely aboard, and that ball right back at Steckenrider and deflecting off his leg. They'll take a look at him.
Oh, that, I mean, a straight shot. And then Bohr right there. I don't know if he realized that it was almost like he took that thing and fielded it like it was foul, not realizing you could make a play on it. Right here, look at him, just kind of get it, and then, oh, wait a minute, there he is. A strange ending to this play.
Yeah, you see that swipe attempt, and Cron avoided it, so he's aboard.
Steckenrider looks like he's going to try and stay in. Yeah,
Boy, you could envision something serious coming out of that.
It was a rocket shot for sure, but the lower leg, not a lot of protection. So obviously that ball must have struck him somewhere in the calf. That got him on the shin. There's no way he's out there right now.
Well, the reading we get is 110 off the bat.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's a shot to take that to the lower extremities. He stays on. A base hit for Crone. There's Carlos Gomez. We're in the 7th inning. Rays have only the single run in the 4th. Foul ball by Gomez, strike one. Now the fastball by him, 0-2, that one 95.
Yeah, and did you see the late ride on it? And Gomez went out there. I think that velocity or perceived velocity kind of caught him by surprise.
It's greater than he anticipated.
Yeah, it was. That's an aggressive swing, but it's not the typical big swing you see from Gomez. You know, he's smooth too. You know, we talked about how it doesn't look like he's trying to throw that hard. Very smooth mechanically, so it kind of lulls you to sleep a little bit, and then here it comes.
Adam Conley busy in the bullpen. Steckenrider, tall figure out there on the mound. He's at least 6'4".
Apparently solidly built too. Taking 110.
Apparently so. And a swing and a miss. Fastball at 96 by Gomez. And we're going to head into the bottom of the 7th inning with the Rays down. It's a 2-1 ball game here. Now we go to the Fox studio. Well, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 2-1. Love how those pitchers stick together. Best athletes on the field.
The results speak for themselves, Dwayne.
On the mound now for the Rays, Matt Andriese. He takes over for Nathan Eovaldi, who worked the front 6. And the pinch hitter is J.P. Shuck. A 194 average. And now a strike to him. Andriese enters the game, making his 22nd appearance. He enters along with the Rays right fielder Malik Smith. Ground ball right side. Crone's going to make this play unassisted. So that's the first out. So Malik's will go into the 9th spot in the Rays lineup, play right field, and Andriese goes into the 7th spot. RBI Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and a lot more. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone. Dietrich, the top of the order. Pitch is a strike. 6 innings for Eovaldi. A couple of runs. Gave up 8 hits. Touch for a home run. Dietrich takes it down, 1-1. So Eovaldi out of the game. Down 2-1. Dietrich chases that pitch up, 1-2.
Well, that'll cause the Rays now with 2 strikes will move their infielders around. More of an extreme shift on Dietrich. Need to continue to throw up zeros.
Now 2-2.
Games like this, nothing new to the Rays. How many one-run games have they been involved in?
How about that? They come in one-run games. The Rays tonight 16-20 in one-run games. Just fouled outside of first.
I'll tell you, it does lead to a battle-hardened group. I mean, these guys playing tight games all the time, very little margin for error, on your tiptoes, ready to make a play at all times, knowing that you can't make mistakes. You got to be locked into the game. Got to make pitches when you're on the mound. Be ready to make plays when you're in the field.
Tapper, Andriese heads to cover, and the shuffle, they got him. How about that? With that first baseman's mitt, Crone picked it up and shuffled it off to Andriese, all in one motion to get Dietrich.
Oh boy, what a job by Andriese to stay down and be able to get this. This is a low flip, but Andriese, as he's heading to the bag, gets the foot on and is able to make the scoop while moving. That's an impressive play all around by everybody.
Nicely done by both Crone and Andriese to get the second out. Andriese made a determination early that he had to head to the mound, or head to the bag from the mound, and giving Crone a chance to make that assist.
Those are those plays that you work on in spring training, the balls that are softly hit and on your way to the bag. If you can get that ball, you maybe give yourself a step or two to try to get it. But if it's going to get by you and you see it's going to get by you, you have to beeline for the bag. Trust your first baseman to be there to make a play. And you work on that play ad nauseum in February.
They try to get it to be second nature.
Yes, that's exactly right, because any indecision right there, he's safe.
Yep.
I mean, you just react, and that's exactly what happened, and they made the play.
2-1 ball game tonight, opener of this 3-game series. Andres is now behind Brian Anderson. It's a 3-0 count. Muto, the difference in this game right now is on deck. That's a strike, 3-1. Rays with 2 shots left. Andres trying to keep the deficit at 1. A cut and a foul ball, runs it full. Ground ball by the mound. Adames right there on the shortstop side of the bag to make the play. We go to the 8th, still 2-1 Miami. By Eldorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store for over 50 years. And by your local Ford dealers. Rays in Miami tonight, opening game of this 3-game interleague series. Headed into the 8th inning. We'll see a left-hander out of the Miami bullpen. Adam Conley will take over.
Well, he's had a nice season, 17 games in, an ERA of just over 1.5, an opponent's average of 169. And you look at where he's going to be at in that Rays lineup. You've got Adames down there, and then, of course, Malik Smith. So you get left there, left with Kiermaier.
Well, Adames 1 out of 2. Shuck stays in the game and goes into left field. Conley in the number 1 spot in the lineup for Miami. It's a little different feature to the game in the National League. There's Shuck out there in the left. First pitch, Adames lifts it to the right side. Moore, the first baseman, into foul territory. And Adames is the first out in the 8th. Coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame shows presented by your local Honda dealers. We'll get an inside look at that big slider from Chaz Rowe. And Doug Wechter will break down Justin Bour, the first baseman here in Miami. Now Johnny Field will hit. Malik Smith go into that 9th spot, but with the left-hander out there, it's going to be Field to hit for him. The Rays down to Their final 5 outs here. And with Field coming up, Nieves heads to the mound. He is the pitching coach, Juan Nieves. And talk this one over.
A little bit more flexibility on the bench for Kevin Cash here, being in the National League and having a pitcher in the lineup. So Alex Smith probably not too happy about getting up there and not getting an opportunity to swing the bat. But you've got a few more bodies than normal, so you can go ahead and let Field hit. You still got Sucre, you've still got Bowers and Wendell.
Well, the pitch to Field is a strike.
Conley with the good velocity, lots of limbs coming at you.
Now 0-2. I'm out in front, reaching a little bit on that one. Ball, 2 strikes. Kiermaier on deck. Fly ball lifted down the right side. That's headed for the stands. We'll see another 1-2. Number right there, still a ball, 2 strikes. Conley's been good out of the bullpen. Left-handed hitters only 148 against him, and right-handers not a lot better, 188. And that is strike 3 called. Field pinch hitting is out of there on strikes.
A lot of back and forth from Conley. Fastball 95, 97. Right there, 85, and that just locks up Field.
There's Kevin Kiermaier taking the pitch for a ball. 1-0. Rojas in on the grass at third. Kiermaier now looks at a strike. Two runs, 8 hits for Miami, a run, 4 hits for the Rays. It's 2-1. Rays scored their run in the 4th inning. It was helped along on the error by Castro. 3-1 the count. Duffy on deck.
Nice to get some speed aboard with Duffy, the way that he can handle the bat.
And there is ball 4. Kiermaier draws the walk. First walk drawn by the Rays in this game. Comes with 2 outs, and Matt Duffy will be the hitter. And Mattingly pops out of the dugout. Don Mattingly headed to make a pitching change. With Duffy coming up, a call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Then the new Monopoly jackpot scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery are a new spin on a classic. They're loaded with prizes from $10,000 to $2 million. So unleash the excitement anytime. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it. Well, the veteran right-hander enters the game. Brad Ziegler will make his 39th appearance.
Extreme arm angle here, and this is a nightmare matchup for a right-handed hitter as he's going to come from way down under, on for the 39th time. Does have an ERA of 5.12, so he has been had at times.
Well, here's Duffy to face him. Over to first, and Kiermaier is back in. The other thing Realmuto does, besides hit home runs, he has a great arm behind the plate. The pitch is inside to Duffy.
Well, you would think a guy like Ziegler too, you know, his time to the plate to get down to that low arm angle takes a little time, and maybe you would try to go here. He does try to speed things up, knowing that's why he's keeping an eye on Kiermaier too.
Yep. So we'll see how the Rays handle this, given all of that information between Ziegler and Realmuto. Duffy takes ball 2, 2-0. Duffy in his career 1 of 5 against Ziegler. And he hits it on the ground to short. A little toss to Castro from Riddle will end the 8th inning for the Rays offense. Bottom of the frame coming up, still 2-1 Miami. Brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By your local Toyota dealer, Toyota, let's go places. And by your local Honda dealer. Johnny Field stays on to play right field as we move into the bottom of the 8th inning. And the difference in this game, JT Realmuto, the catcher, leads it off against Matt Andriese. High fly ball into right, and Field just out there gets an opportunity, and he makes the catch. Andriese worked to 1-2-3 7th. face Justin Bohr in the bottom of the 8th with 1 out and the bases empty.
Well, and imperative that he does it once again. He's going to cut right through the heart of this Marlin lineup. Rays trail by 1. They've got 3 more outs to play with.
It's a ball. Well, the Rays in the 9th inning have Robertson, Ramos, and Echeverria due up. Pitch is down, 2-0. Ground ball right side. Andres over there to cover, taking the toss from Crone. That one a little more routine than the one they made in the 7th inning.
Very traditional and boring, really. They spoiled us.
So 2 gone. Barraclough up in the bullpen.
Well, you got your work cut out for you with this guy.
Yes. Well, Castro 3 for 3. He singled and scored a run back in the 2nd inning. And his error led to the run the Rays scored in the 4th. But at the plate, 3 for 3. Now strike 1-1. The Rays figure to open tomorrow night with Ryan Stanek. We'll have Ryan Yarbrough to follow. Trevor Richards will pitch for Miami. Now a 2-1 count on Castro. And a liner into center. Another hit for Castro. 4 for 4 for Castro tonight. He has 4 of the 9 hits for Miami.
He's spraying the ball all over the place. This ball stays up. He stays inside. See a little leg kick for the timing mechanism. Everything else gets down in time. That ball gets shot out into right center. And his really good night continues.
JT Riddle 0 for 2 with a walk, grounded into a double play in the 6th. As Andres tries to get the final out in the 8th. Upstairs 1-0.
The Rays, though, you look back on Castro's night, they do have their run, though.
That's right.
Because of him.
Yep. He scored a run and set up the opposition for a run.
He's an even player right now. 4 hits. Remember those nights.
Way up. 2-0. Rays and the Marlins opening this year's version of the Citrus Series. The Rays 55 and 52 all time in the Citrus Series. Six games over 500 against the Marlins at the Trop, and in Miami 3 games under. And Riddle is up in the count 3-0. And now a strike. 3-1. High fly ball. This one driven deep into right center field. Field to the wall. He's going to have room. Makes the catch. That appeared to be troublesome for a moment. And Field got over there in right center field in front of the wall to make the grab. We go to the ninth. It's still 2-1 Marlins. Coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by W.B. Mason. Rich and Doug along to anchor from the studio, and we've had some great pitching here in Marlins Park tonight. We'll hear from Kevin Cash and interviews from the clubhouse. Difference in this game, the home run by Realmuto, that came in the fifth. And as we go to the ninth, Kyle Bearclaw is pitcher number 5. 20 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. The National League reliever of the month for June.
And he has been absolutely dominant, and this is the night that you hope it comes to an end, but those numbers right there speak volumes. 20 2/3 consecutive scoreless.
Well, we go to the ninth. Daniel Robertson to lead it off. And the first pitch is a ball outside. Miguel Rojas moves across the diamond to play first base. Rivera is in the game at third. There's a foul ball straight back. That's going to be out of play.
Fastball, slider, and changeup. He keeps it pretty standard. You will imagine against the right-handers, fastball and slider make up the majority of what he tries to do.
And a check on a pitch down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Wilson Ramos next, and then Echeverria. Takes the count to 2-2. Bearclaw in June gave up 1 hit in 38 hitters faced.
Wow.
And now he's given up a hit here in the month of July. Base hit to left by Robertson. Robertson on for the second time. He has scored the run for the Rays when he reached on the error back in the 4th. And now a base hit to begin the 9th.
He hung it. He went with the slider and just hung it up around the belt. Well, you do that, you leave yourself vulnerable. Daniel Robertson finds an opening on the left side, and here is that opportunity that you needed. Leadoff man.
And you get some power in Ramos at the plate. Ramos doubled in the 2nd inning. The pitch is down.
Well, he'll be looking to work down in the zone with Ramos. Try to get him to hit the ball on the ground. Double play candidate.
And there's a high fly ball into left. Shuck coming in to get under it. And that is the first out.
That's one of those just missed. Barraclaw has not been particularly sharp here through the first 2 hitters and got that fastball up and out over the plate where Ramos had a chance to do some damage and just got underneath it. Look where this pitch ends up.
So Ramos retired. Echeverria will be lifted, and Jake Bowers will come off the bench to pinch hit. So Bowers will hit, coming in at 256. Very disciplined up there with a very good eye. And he takes the first one upstairs, ball 1. Fastball around 92. That's a strike, 1-1. One on, one out. A ball and a strike to count to Bowers. Castillo limbering in the bullpen for the Rays. And now a strike just on that outside edge. And it's 1-2.
Now, here's the thing, though. These pitches, again, he's gotten ahead of Bowers here, but they haven't been particularly sharp pitches. And so you look for another, like the 2-strike slider to Robertson, another mistake that has some elevation to it that you can put a good swing on.
And a ground ball headed to the right side. Out at second and no play at first. They get the force at second base. So Bowers reaches, and the Rays are going to be down to their final out. So 2 gone, and C.J. Cron will be the hitter. Couple of hits for Cron tonight, 2 for 3. He hit the line drive off the right leg of the right-hander Steckenrider back in the 7th. Now he faces Barraclaw. Two to 1 ball game. Top of the 9th. 1 on, 2 outs. The pitch to Cron. Ball 1. Six innings for Chen. Steckenrider for an inning, 2/3 for Conley, a third for Ziegler. And now it's Barraclaw. Eovaldi and Andriese tonight for the Rays. Bowers is back in. And again, a move on Bowers, who's got that right hand on the bag. The Rays finishing their homestand with 3 straight victories over Houston, 3-2, 5-2, and 3-2. Down 2-1 tonight in the 9th. And again to first, and Bowers is back.
Trying to keep him tight. The thought here, maybe he would go. Barraclough's given up 1 stolen base in 1 attempt. Talked about Real Muto behind the plate, good catch and throw. Really, everybody that catches for the Marlins, good catch and throw. They've got 26 caught stealings on the season.
The cut and a miss. 1-1.
Well, that breaking ball had some good depth to it. If you're CJ Cron, you got a couple more to play with, and he's had a couple of hard hit balls here tonight. Need one more.
There's a liner down the left field side, back toward the corner. That ball is a fair ball into the corner. Rays are going to try to score the tying run. Throw to the plate, and Bowers is safe. He got in there. The ball pumped away from Realmuto, and when he tried to recover it, Bowers had a chance to get back to the plate and touched it with his hand. And the Rays have tied this game 2-2 in the 9th.
Realmuto unknowingly gave up on the play. After Bowers slid by him and the ball came loose, if he gets that ball back and turns around and dives at Bowers, he's got a chance to get him. Another hanger. Barraclough's not been sharp. And this one drops in. It's fair. It's up against the wall. Here's your chance. But Realmuto does not realize that Bowers has still not been called safe, and he just kind of gives up on it, looking out towards third.
So the Rays tie it.
But he grabs that ball and turns around. He's got a shot.
Cron drives in the run. He's at second. And now the pitcher's spot is due. 12th double of the year for Cron, his 3rd hit. Andriese had been lifted for Wendell, and they send Wendell to first base. So it's first and second, and Adames will be the hitter. A 2-2 ball game. Adames takes it low, fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. One thing Barraclough has done this year over last year, he's gone to the fastball a lot more this year and not as much to the slider. But that fastball has not been overpowering.
No, he's averaging a little over 93 miles an hour with it on the season. The couple of sliders that he has gone to in this inning have both, well, the balls that have been put in play. You think about Daniel Robertson got a hanger for a base hit to start the inning off. CJ Cron got a hanger, tied the game up with it.
1-1 count to Adames. And that's down.
You know, and it's interesting too, and obviously he's not sharp. This is not the best that he's thrown the ball. But when you look at the stuff, there's no wow factor. And when you think about a guy that went a whole month to give up just 1 hit.
Yep. And now ball 3 runs the count to 3-1. It's Johnny Field on deck. The Rays down to their last out, and Cron doubled just inside the left field line. Fly ball lifted into right. Anderson is there to make the catch, and the Rays are out in the ninth. They pick up the tying run. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. It's a 2-2 ball game. C.J. Cron driving in the tying run. Catch baseball's biggest stars for an unforgettable show from the nation's capital. The MLB All-Star Game, July 17th, only on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Diego Castillo will be the new pitcher for the Rays. He follows Eovaldi and Andriese to the mound. And Joey Wendell, who entered essentially as a pinch hitter and was walked, will stay on, as will Jake Bauers. Bauers out there in the left. And here is Miguel Rojas. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Joey Wendell at second base. And now at shortstop, Daniel Robertson. And a couple quick strikes here on Rojas. He's had a good night, 3 for 3. And strike 3 call. Rojas out of there on 3 pitches.
I'm a little confused. I mean, just 3 straight in the zone. Rojas never took the bat off his shoulder. 2 heaters that were right there, and then a slider right down the middle. That will not make the highlight reel.
Lewis Brinson.
I don't know if I'd put that one on the low light reel.
It's a little wide. 1-0. Eovaldi worked 6, gave up 2 runs. Andriese worked 2, gave up no runs, and now Castillo in the game in a 2-2 contest. That's a strike at 99.
You know what? They're going with the 11U philosophy. Just try to walk your way around. Just don't swing the bat. Coach said, don't swing. Guy can be a little bit wild. Don't swing.
He did go there. Tried to check, and now it's 1-2.
Ironically enough, the first pitch swung at is the one that was furthest out of the zone. Just, you know what? Just take the 3 outs. Let's go to the 10th.
And that one just a little bit outside. Not by much, and it's a 2-2 count. Well, Castillo came into that game yesterday in that bases loaded situation facing Jose Altuve and had that big 10-pitch battle with him and struck him out. And now he's 3-2 here on Brinson. Chuck is on deck. And a swing and a miss. He's out of there and abandons the plate area, so he's out. 2 strikeouts. Bases are empty.
Right out over the plate, and Brinson gets really, really long with that swing. Couple of interesting at-bats here to start off the bottom of the 9th for the Marlins.
Shuck entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning and grounded out to Crone. Pitch is away. 1 ball, no strikes. Crone pinch hit in the 7th, stayed on to play left. Takes a strike. 97 split the plate.
And he was kind of, you know, bailing out of there a little bit. I'm thoroughly confused with this bottom half of the 9th inning.
Too wide that time at 98, way out there. 2-1. Now 3 balls and a strike. Saw Maybin on deck there a moment ago. Marlins had Rosinski up in the bullpen. Now a strike and the count is full. Rojas called out on strikes. Brinson went 3-2, struck out swinging. 3-2 to Shuck, about to be made. And a shot up the middle and a base hit into center off the fastball. Shuck is aboard. Well, the Marlins pick up their 10th hit.
Was able to finally make the adjustment. Castillo going back in there with that fastball. That late movement had gotten him kind of bailing out of there on the first 2 strikes, but he stays buried in there and shoots that ball right back the middle of the field.
Well, Cameron Maybin comes on to hit. Maybin hitting .230 with a home run. takes the pitch down. It's 2-0. They've been starting to get the pinch hitting role down. He's 3 for his last 5 pinch hitting appearances.
Well, that's exactly why, you know, Don Mattingly is going to go to him here. Down to your last out in the bottom of the 9th. Been able to come up big in these types of situations, even though it's a right on right tough matchup.
Castillo working the 9th. Pitcher number 3 for the Rays. Now a strike. 2-1. Marlins have utilized 5 pitchers tonight. And the count is full. Now 3 straight full counts here. Now with a runner at first and 2 outs, Anderson on deck. 3-1 the count. And that's a strike to make it 3-2. So Brinson went 3-2, struck out. Shuck went 3-2, got a base hit. Now Maybin 3-2. Runner goes, and he is out on strikes. Slider got him, could not check. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Castillo, and we're going to move into extra innings tonight. Tied 2-2. The official sponsor of Extra Innings. And Extra Innings it will be tonight from Miami. First game of this series, the Rays and the Marlins moving on to the 10th. Tied 2-2. Rays with 2 outs in the 9th inning scored the tying run. A base hit, 3 strikeouts allowed by Castillo in the bottom of the 9th. And a new pitcher, Drew Rucinski, on the hill. Pitcher number 6 for the Marlins.
He's appeared just in 9 games, 13 2/3 innings of work, 12 strikeouts, 3 walks. And the Rays with new life here. Johnny Field will lead it off, then round to the top of the order.
Field pinch hit, called out on strikes, and now takes a strike to begin the 10th inning. It's 1-1. Sinski pitch yesterday. There's Ryan Stanek up in the bullpen for the Rays now.
Maybe throwing tomorrow's open into flux.
2-1. Well, Kevin Cash will worry about tomorrow when that comes. Trying to win a game tonight, so we'll see how it works out. Two and two. So the Rays get their first look at Drew Rucinski. You get that fastball up there in the neighborhood of 94. Lifted foul up the right side. 2-2 the count. Rucinski worked yesterday against the Mets, 1 inning. He was in a couple of games in the New York series. Worked a total of 2 innings, giving up a hit, no runs, and 3 strikeouts. The fly ball back into center field. Brentson, though, as he approaches the track, has got a couple of steps and makes the catch. So Field lifts the fly ball to center, 1 away. And now on comes Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier and Duffy, the next 2 hitters. Rucinski comes in, as we mentioned, with a couple wins. He's 2-1. Pitch is a strike. One of those wins, the most recent win, came on the road in Colorado, and he gave up 3 runs, 5 hits, and 2 2/3, and managed to come out of that with a win. One and one to count on Kevin Kiermaier.
Those are the types that you feel like giving back. I mean, you're happy that you won the ball game, but you know that when you look at your line and look at it closely, not at all what you had hoped for or expected, and yet you benefit.
2-1 to count to Kiermaier. Rays in their 7th extra inning game this year. They've gone 3-3. The Marlins are 2-3 in theirs.
Something has to give.
And the ball inside, 3-1. The Rays have gone 2-0 at home and 1-3 on the road in extra innings. The Marlins have played all of their extra inning games at home, all 5. Ground ball right side. Castro has it. The throw to first. So a fly ball and a ground ball, 2 up, 2 down. And that will get Matt Duffy up there. Well, Matt's looking for his first hit of the night. Looks that one over a bit wide. Duffy started the day the 5th leading hitter in the American League, a total of 85 hits on the year. Lifts it to the right side, not too deep. Anderson coming in. Castro out, and Castro right there in front of Anderson Anderson makes the grab and holds on. So it's a 1-2-3, 10th inning. Still tied 2-2. Continues tomorrow on Fox and FS1. First, Sweden taking on Switzerland at 9 a.m. Eastern. Then superpowers collide as Colombia takes the pitch against Harry Kane and England at 1 on Fox. World Cup knockout round action on Fox and FS1, or stream it all live on the Fox Sports app. Bottom of the 10th inning here in Miami. The Rays have utilized Nathan Eovaldi, Matt Andriese, Diego Castillo, and now it's Ryan Stanek. See what he's done over his last 12 games.
Well, he got jump started going into that opener role, has pitched deeper into games alongside of that, and those numbers just outstanding.
He faces Brian Anderson. The fastball is upstairs at 99. Anderson has struck out and has grounded out 3 times. Up again at 98, 2-0. Now 3-0.
Having a hard time getting that fastball down into the zone. All 3 misses up.
Hernandez up in the bullpen for Miami. Stanek behind Anderson. And he walks him on 4 pitches. It's only the 2nd walk given up by Rays pitching. Alvarado up in the bullpen now for the Rays. And here's Realmuto. He homered in the 5th inning, making it a 2-1 game, and it stayed that way until there were 2 outs in the 9th when the Rays tied it. And there's a strike. There's the home run by Realmuto in the 5th, connecting off Eovaldi. It's popped up foul and carries back into the stands. 0-2. Last outing for Stanek was on Saturday when he was the opener against the Astros. Made 14 pitches. Upstairs, it's 1-2. Muto, 10 of his 11 home runs off right-handed pitching.
How about that? Look at the averages too. 337 as compared to 220.
He sends it into center field for a base hit. Anderson's going to go to third, and it will be first and third with nobody out for the Marlins here in the bottom of the 10th inning. In big trouble now.
Well, that's Realmuto getting a pitch that had enough elevation that he could get out to it. You know, down and away is one thing, but up and away, see how he just goes out there just with a level swing, just put the bat on the ball. And fortunately for him, unfortunately for the Rays, it finds grass, and then Kevin Kiermaier is going to come so far for that ball. That allowed Anderson to get all the way over to third. And now you got to pull the infield in.
It is going to be Yadiel Rivera. Been over at third since the 9th. Everybody up. And Rivera swings and misses the first offering.
Boy, you just take advantage of a hitter right there that wants to end it. Almost a predetermined swing. He threw that slider and he swung at it like it was a 98-mile-an-hour heater.
This went bounding away, but not far enough to give Anderson any thoughts of trying to score.
Boy, nice little scramble there by Ramos. Realize that might have caught the shin guard. Caught something hard enough to bounce away from him. Oh, right, maybe the heel of that glove. But boy, look at him jump up and pounce on that thing.
Duffy and Robertson up on the left side. Wendell and Crone on the right side. A 1-1 count. Too high. 2-1. A leadoff walk and then the base hit, first and third. Anderson, the runner at third base. He's the guy who counts. Ground ball, that's a fair ball. Now the throw to the plate, and it's inside the plate. And the winning run scores.
You know, Ramos never looked for that throw. The call was made fair. Matt Duffy threw the ball towards home plate, and Ramos was not looking for the throw. I don't know if he thought that ball was foul. That was an interesting play. Watch this. So the call is going to be fair. Maybe you didn't see it? No, you know what? That throw was wide. I think that he was waiting for it, saw the throw was wide. He could not get back to it. See Matt Duffy kind of juggling that ball and couldn't get a good handle on it. Ramos is like, that ball is nowhere near me. Nothing you can do. Unfortunate break.
Well, here it is. That throw on the inside, on the infield side of the plate.
Yep.
And the Marlins take the first game of this series. It's a 3-2 final. 3-12-1 for the Marlins. 2-6-0 for the Rays. Rucinski will get the win. The loss, Stanek, 1-2. Took 3 hours and 5 minutes to play it. And in 10, it's a 3-2 final, Miami. For Brian Anderson and Michelle Margot, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. Rays Live, the post game, comes your way next.